Hey guys, I've got another video for you. It's about an hour long, and this practice focuses mainly on hips. We do some kind of new and interesting core work, so be prepared for that. You might not have done things like this before. I hadn't. It was kind of weird, but it was fun. Yeah. One of the YouTube subscribers had asked for some poses to help her warm up for the splits. The splits aren't really in my practice right now, but this is a great practice that kind of gets you ready for that. Really opening up the hips, the hip flexors, the butt, so that you can get into those more advanced hip openers. Yeah, hope you enjoy. Thanks.
So I'm starting this practice in child's pose, like most of my practices. But being outside gives me time to kind of not only check into my breath and become present in my body, but just to feel the different things that are going on around me. The heat of the sun on my mat, the birds chirping, just kind of getting in tune with those things. And then bringing the focus more inside. On an inhale, come to your hands and knees. And a few rounds of cat and cow tilts with your breath. I've been doing more of these at the beginning of my practices lately. Just really kind of trying to get it in my body, the connection between the breath and the movement. Inhaling, lifting my tailbone up, reaching my head towards the sky, chest through my arms, and exhaling, rounding my spine. And I've been touching my chin to my chest just to really hit that home. It's that connection of the movement and the breath, like in the body, that really moves us through our practices. On an inhale, come to a neutral spine. And then on an exhale, push into downward facing dog. Each one of the movements needs to be connected to a breath. It's just a practice in being present. So as I pedal my feet back and forth and start to stretch out in this first down dog, I'm connecting the movement to a breath. I'm being conscious of both at the same time. Inhale and lifting my right leg. Exhale, bending the knee, opening the hips. Trying to stack the hips while keeping the shoulders squared towards the mat. Inhaling, straightening the leg. Exhaling back to down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hips. Getting a gentle twist in your spine as you send your hips one way and shoulders the other. Big inhale, straighten your leg. Exhale, back to down dog. Exhale, empty out and step or jump to the front of your mat. And then relaxing down in ragdoll. I start most of my practices the same way with the same set of poses as kind of a reminder to come back and be present throughout the practice, whatever it might hold. I'm really taking time to connect these things with the same set of poses in the beginning. Some people don't like that, some people do. It's really whatever you like. Inhale and come to a straight spine. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, coming all the way up. Spending a few breaths here in mountain pose. Really grounding my feet down and reaching up through my arms, but keeping my shoulders down. With each breath, Really sinking into the mat and reaching up. And on an exhale, folding forward. Halfway lift. And step back to high plank on an exhale. A couple breaths here. I really like to find my hips in this pose, the first plank, so I can feel where my body's in line. My hips aren't too high or too low. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And a few breaths here just to warm up my low back. Get my shoulders more engaged. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take one more big inhale. Exhale. When you're empty, step or jump to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Bow forward, exhaling. Inhale, reach up, fill up, and then bow forward. Halfway lift. High to low plank with one long exhale. Upward facing dog. Down dog, exhaling all the way. One more big inhale. And empty out. And when you're empty, float towards the front of your mat. Halfway lift and inhale. Bow forward. Reach up, fill up all the way, even a small back bend here. And then bow forward, exhaling. Straighten your spine with a halfway lift. And then low plank, exhaling. Upward facing dog and down dog. Big inhale. Exhale all the way out. And then step or jump to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward. Inhale, reach up, bend your knees for chair pose. And take a few breaths here. I've been focusing on tilting my tailbone down so that my back is at a more natural angle. Really engages your core there. Take a big inhale and come forward into diver's pose. And then exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, warrior one. Inhale and lift up. I like taking a few breaths on my first warriors on each side just to really get the memory set in my body so that when I step to it, when I'm flowing, I don't have to think about it as much. Inhale, lifting the arms. Really squaring those hips forward. Using the shoulders to help you if you need. Wherever your shoulders go, your hips want to follow. Inhale, then exhale, high to low plank. Upward facing dog, down dog. Left foot, warrior one. Inhale and lift up. And same thing on this side, just finding your warrior one for the day. Lots of energy through the hands and fingers. Making the upper body as light as possible. Big inhale, then high to low plank. exhaling. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Now that whole sun salutation be a couple more times, just in the flow of it. Big inhale. Exhale all the way out. And float forward. Halfway lift. Bow down deep. Bend your knees, reach up. Bow forward. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Right foot warrior one. Inhale lifts you up. And then all the way back down, high to low plank. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Left foot warrior one. Reach up. Exhale, high to low plank. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Big breath in. Empty all the way out. And then when you're empty, jump forward. Halfway lift. Inhale. Fold forward. Bend your knees, reach up. And bow forward, exhaling. Halfway lift. Straight spine. Chaturanga. Exhaling. Upward facing dog. Down dog with a big exhale. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, warrior one. And then high to low plank as you exhale. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Right foot forward, warrior one. And then all the way back down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Right knee, right elbow. Right leg up. Right knee, left elbow. Send it across. Right leg up. Step your foot forward, crescent lunge. Inhale and lift up. And breathe here. I really like to get a sense of my hips, really bringing my left hip forward here in this pose. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring them to heart center. Take a deep breath in, and then twist. The first part of this pose, I feel like, is really opening up that left hip as you send it forward, the left hip flexor. And then as you twist, the stretch for me kind of opens up into my right butt. So I really enjoy this pose for how dynamic it is. Opening your arms, taking a little bit more of a stretch. And then back to crescent lunge on a big inhale. Exhale to warrior two. Breathe here. Inhale, reverse warrior. And then side angle as you exhale. So we're opening our hips here towards the side of your mat. You take fingertips to your mat, or you can take your elbow to your knee. Just don't dump your weight into that bottom shoulder. You want to keep your arms in a nice straight line as much as possible. And exhaling all the way high to low plank, upward facing dog, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Left knee, left elbow. Left leg up. Left knee, right elbow. Left leg up. Step it forward to crescent lunge. Inhale and lift up. And again, just exploring that right hip flexor, or wherever you're feeling it in this pose. Taking a couple breaths to get set and feel strong in your foundation before the twist. Inhale, lifting your arms. Big breath in. Then on an exhale, take your hands to your heart center. Take another deep breath in, and then twist. The more solid you are in your foundation, the more effective the twist will be. So make sure you're feeling strong in both of your legs before you go into the twist. Keeping that back leg really strong and straight. Inhaling, opening your arms. Warrior 2. Breathe here. Big inhale, reverse warrior, and then side angle. And feel free to let this side be different. If you go all the way fingertips to the mat on your right side, but you don't on your left, that's fine. Our sides aren't as symmetrical as we want them to be, and that's okay. We have to accept that. High to low plank, upward facing dog, down dog. And just breathe here. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Right knee, right elbow. Inhale, up. Right knee, left elbow. Right leg up. Right knee to the center of your chest. Hold it. More big breath in. Step it forward. Warrior 1. Big inhale, come up. Exhale to warrior 2. Inhale, straighten that front knee and come into triangle. Really trying to stack your hips as much as possible. It'll give you a nice side body stretch, as well as in your hamstrings. And just breathing here, connecting back to that breath. Back to warrior 2. Reverse warrior. Come forward into a crescent lunge and we'll go into lizard pose here. Really sinking down into your hips, sending a lot of energy through that back heel even though it's up off the ground. And I'm actually going to walk my upper body over to the left. So I can sink my hips down and kind of get a side body stretch all at the same time. Then I come back to center and come down onto my forearms. There's a lot of different variations you can take in this pose. Just find what's working for you. On an inhale, come up to your hands. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up and bend your knee, open your hips. Flip all the way into flip dog or wild thing, whatever you want to call it. A nice back bend. Opening those hips towards the sky. Then back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Left knee, left elbow. Left leg up. Left knee, right elbow. Left leg up. Left knee to the center of your chest. Hold it. Breathe out. Breathe in and step it forward. Warrior one. Inhale and come up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten that front knee. And then exhaling, coming into triangle. It's finding a way to make yourself as stacked as possible. One hip on top of the other. Left shoulder on top of the right shoulder. So as if you're just being pressed in together by two panes of glass. Inhale, come to warrior two. Reverse warrior. And then lift that back heel and come into lizard pose. Walking your upper body over to the right. This will end up being a pretty intense practice if you spend a lot of time sitting and your hip flexors are more tight. Walk back to center and come on down to your forearms. I spend a lot more time driving nowadays, so I've been doing a lot of hips and it feels great. Inhale, come up to your hands. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Bend the knee, open the hips, and flip all the way over into flip dog. Reaching up towards the sky or forward towards the front of your mat. Letting your head relax if you can in this back bend. And then flipping back to downward facing dog. On an exhale, come to your hands and knees. With a big inhale, reach your left arm forward, right leg back. Breathing here. Big breaths. Big breath in. Exhale, bring your knee to your elbow. Inhale, reach out in both directions. Exhale, come around, touch the toe around the back. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, stretch out, and then take it back. Touch the toes. Inhale, reach forward, and hands and feet down. Inhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Breathing here. One more big breath in, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach out, bring it up and back. Inhale, reach forward, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, touch the toe. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, hands and feet down. We're going to do that same thing over again. Just do it with your breath. 2 rounds on each side. As you touch your toe, take just a split second and really push the foot into the hand, getting a little bit more of a back bend, opening that hip just a little bit more. Might require you to slow down your breath just a little bit, and that's okay. down to your hands and knees. Once you're there, scoot yourself to the back of your mat. We're essentially going to do a core crawl to the front of your mat. Take a big inhale, send your right leg back. Exhale, squeeze it into your chest, cross it over, and plant it. Left leg up, inhale, squeeze it in, bring your foot around so you're crossing your legs. Inhale, lift your right leg up, squeeze it into your chest and around. Inhale, left leg up, squeeze it into your chest, across and back. Inhale, right leg up, squeeze it into your chest, bring it across, and then sit back into half pigeon. It's kind of a fun way to move around on your mat and then end up in a pose. A new way of getting into half pigeon. And when you're ready and you feel set, just fold down. Just really breathing into where you feel this pose, taking your awareness there. By this point, your hips should be pretty open, and I was really able to get into some new areas by this point in the practice. Even if you've done half pigeon 1,000 times, there's always more to find. Each day is different. Each day is new. So what's new about this pose? Inhale, come up. Opening across your chest, planting your hands down below your shoulders. Bending your back knee and taking the foot in either your left or right hand. You can see I tried with my right hand and couldn't quite make it, but whatever hand is easiest for you to do, and just continue to get into that quad and your hip and opening your chest at the same time. Just breathing into the stretch here. You can release that back foot. And then we're going to do the core crawl in reverse. So inhale, bring your right knee to your chest, send it back, and place it behind your left leg. Inhale, bring your left leg into your chest, send it back behind your right. So on, etc. A couple more times till you end up at the back of your mat. I was just playing with this to see if it would work in reverse the way it did going forward. If you don't like it, just scoot on back to the back of your mat. But you won't know if you like it until you try it. So all the way back to the back of your mat, we're going to core crawl to the front. Again, inhale, lift your left leg up, squeeze the knee into your chest, over and across, plant the leg. Right leg up, inhale, exhale, squeeze it in and around. Inhale, left leg up, squeeze it in and around, really arching your spine. Inhale, right leg up, squeeze the knee in, bring it around. Left leg up, big inhale, squeeze the knee into the chest, and get set for half pigeon. Once you feel set and grounded, just fold forward with a big exhale. Again, just allowing this pose to be different and to be new than you've ever done it before. Don't assume that you know anything about this pose, about your body in this moment, in this pose. You might find something unexpected. On an inhale, come up, opening across your chest, planting your hands down into the mat. And bend that back knee and take the foot with whichever hand. Just give yourself a few more moments to get into these hips and open your chest a little bit more. Gently release that back foot. And then starting the core crawl back, squeezing the left leg in, sending it back behind the right leg. Squeezing the right knee in, sending it back behind the left. Squeezing the left leg in, sending it up and back behind. All the way to the back of your mat. One more time, left leg, squeeze it in. Then back to your hands and knees. Then come back to the center of your mat. And lift your hips up back into downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. And step it forward. We're going to come into lizard again here. But take a different variation than you did last time. I'm actually going to wrap my shoulder underneath my knee here. I've been playing with the arm balance that comes here, but I'm still not quite open enough in my hips. But you can do that. You can stay on your hands. You can come all the way down to your forearms. You can take your shoulder under your knee. You can try the arm balance here with that shoulder underneath, really strong chaturanga arms, lifting up that back foot off the ground. You can also try it extending that foot forward or really flexing the knee inward. Or you can just stay stretching. Wherever you are, come up with your hands and go back to downward facing dog, lifting that leg, three-legged dog, getting a nice counter stretch there. Inhale, lift your leg up, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up, step it forward to lizard pose, to the outside of your left hand. And then whatever variation you want to take here, doesn't have to be the same one you did on the other side. Take an inhale and come back to your hands. And three-legged dog, lifting that leg up, opening the hips. Inhale, leg up. Exhale, downward facing dog. A few breaths here. Step or jump to the front of your mat and come on down to your butt. Place your right ankle over your left knee, and we're going to come into full pigeon. But before we fold forward, we're going to take a shoulder stretch here. So take your left arm behind your head and your right arm behind your back. You might need a towel here. You might be able to touch your fingers and grab your hands. There's a ton of different ways to do this stretch. Just get to where you can really access your shoulders and open your chest. Exhale, so gently release your hands. The big inhale, lift up, reach up, and then fold forward as you exhale. I was already feeling this stretch pretty intensely before I folded forward, so I didn't put a lot of pressure on myself to go very far. Sometimes my chest touches my shin, sometimes my forehead can go all the way to the floor, and some days it doesn't. So just be gentle with yourself. This is a really intense pose. It can be intense physically, it can be intense emotionally. So just try easy and be gentle. A big inhale, come up. And plant your right foot over on the other side of your left knee and do your little disco dance. Walk all the way around, come into half pigeon on the other side. If you want to rewind the video and watch how we do that, you can do that here. Just a fun way to get into a pose that's not always a ton of fun. Once you're set in this pose, we're going to take the opposite arm bind. So right arm behind your head, left arm behind your back. Again, taking a towel here or using a strap is a great idea if your shoulders aren't quite open enough to have your fingertips touch. And you do want them to more than touch. You want to be able to grasp your hands so that you can really leverage more of a stretch. It's a lot easier to do that with a strap or a towel if you don't get close enough with your fingertips. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's a very good thing to use a towel or a strap. Gently release your hands. Inhale and reach up. Exhale and fold forward. It's important to remember to keep your foot flexed in poses where you're accessing your hips in this way, just to keep your knees safe. So if you haven't been doing that, or if you're experiencing some knee pain in this pose, back off a little bit and make sure you're keeping that foot flexed. Inhale and come up. Gently unwrap your legs and send your feet straight out in front of you. Inhale and reach up and fold forward, hinging at your hips, not letting your spine take too much of the bend. You really want to tilt your tailbone towards the back of your mat, keeping your belly on your thighs, your chest on your thighs as much as possible. Inhale and come up. And come all the way onto your back. Just relaxing. Squeeze your knees in, rock side to side. Take eagle legs, right leg over, and then send your knees over to the left. Get a nice twist here. Just really relaxing into this. We're done with the hard work part. It's time to just surrender, let go. Just let things happen. Instead of trying to make things happen, just relaxing. Bring your knees back to center. Switch eagle legs, left leg over, and then send your knees over to the right. Bring your knees back to center. Unwrap them, squeeze them in one last time. Great big hug. Squeeze your head in. Come into happy baby. Really trying to push your low back into the floor, into your mat. I really like rocking side to side, and this one is just kind of fun, and it feels good on my back. Squeezing in again, and then just relaxing into Shavasana. Hands open, palms facing the sky, and then just letting go of every part of your body. Letting go or surrendering can be scary. We think if we let go or stop trying, we're just going to fall. We're going to fail. The great reminder of Shavasana is when you completely let go, you're still supported by the ground itself. All right, now work your way up into a seat, keeping your eyes closed. Take your hands to your heart center. Take a deep breath in and say namaste.